everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Viannca if you're new here, and I am 28 years old. I work full-time and I just really like to focus on goals and budgeting and finances, but still having a balance. So like 80-20 rule, have fun, but have your ish together. So we will be doing a December reset, and I have recently been kind of locked into my goals. Well, we'll see. The first part of this video is I will be going over my November goals, stating if I completed them or not, making new goals for December, and then going over my budgeting routine. So I'll be just going over my budget in November and then creating a new budget for December. So let's get started with our November goals. So I like to split up my goals into categories of personal, health, fun, recreation, hobbies, family, friends and relationships, and finances. So for personal, I had down to tidy 5 minutes a day after work, and that I did not do. My room has actually been such a mess this month, and I really need to hone in on this for next month because yeah, my room. I will not be crossing that off. And then I have to study Spanish, and I did do pretty well in the first half of the month. The second half got super busy, but I still was able to study a good amount of Spanish this month. So I'll go ahead and cross that off. As for health, I have to journal 1 time a month, which I have been on my journaling grind. So yes, we did journal. I actually bought a commonplace journal, so I've been really wanting to just write down new quotes and quotes that I love, or quotes that I saw, or just media that I consumed and write about it. So I've been loving that lately. And then we have workout 4 times a week. So I did this for the most part, but I did get sick a little bit after my trip in Mexico. So I did give myself a break, but I do think I was very consistent with the gym outside of being sick. So we have that. And then I just put down 80-20 rule always, which I 100% agree with. I just really try to listen to my body and focus 80% of the time. As for fun, recreation, and hobbies, I put down to make YouTube videos again. This was something that I really loved, and then I fell off because I just got super busy. So I did make YouTube videos this month, and I really just want to focus on being consistent, although it's not my #1 priority at the moment. But I do want to make some time weekly for this. And then I have continue reading. I'm still in the middle of 11/22/63 by Stephen King. It has been a very long book. It's really good, but it has been taking me some time to finish. So hopefully I'll finish that within the next couple days actually, so I can start a new book for December. And then we have to catch up with at least one friend I've been meaning to. I did make plans to catch up with a friend, and then it got canceled. So I didn't end up doing that, but the intent was there. So we'll just add it on to the next month. And then for finances, we have to refer to my budget calendar, which we'll be going over at the last part of this video. But now let's make some goals for December 2025. All right, for my 2025 December goals, I feel like my monthly goals are pretty much the same, and with just a few tweaks. For my personal, I kept to tidy 5 minutes a day, study Spanish. I did add to meditate 1 time a week. I feel like after being sick from Mexico, it's made me a little bit anxious because I hate the feeling of like stomach issues. So I've been extra anxious this month. So I will definitely be making time to meditate again and just, you know, get my mind straight, as well as to limit phone usage on the weekdays. I do delete Instagram and TikTok, my apps, on the weekdays. I did keep it a couple of weekdays the last month. So for this following month in December, I do want to be stronger at literally not using any of those apps on the weekdays, and actually limiting YouTube a little bit on the weekdays. At least the amount of time I spend on there. I do get a little bit distracted with shorts, and I do want to focus on longer form content for the sake of my attention span. As for health, I still have to journal 1 time a month. I probably will journal more than this, but I just put a easy goal because it is not number 1 on my priority. I do have to work out 4 times a week, per usual, 80-20 rule. We have to film and post at least 3 YouTube videos, finish 1 new book for fun, recreation, and hobbies, and then I still want to try and catch up with at least 1 friend I've been meeting to. And with that, we should go to finances. My favorite part personally. Alright, for the month of November overall, I think I did pretty well in terms of keeping my expenses within the budget. So for my income, I did make 20 less than projected, but that is okay. For expenses, we did pretty well. Actually spent about $100 less than what I budgeted for, and I went way under in groceries, which was perfect because with Thanksgiving, I feel like there's been so many like Friendsgivings and food, and I just have so much food right now. I'm freezing some of it, and I'm pretty sure I'm not doing a grocery haul for this next week, so that'll be nice. As for household, car, and personal necessities, I had to pay for my car registration as well as just other personal necessities, and that I did go over a little bit. Transportation, I went over just a tiny bit. Dining out, I went under, which I'm very happy about. Gifts, I was supposed to do a little more Black Friday shopping for Christmas gifts, but I didn't, so we will be doing that on Cyber Monday. Fun category, I did go under, which I'm shocked about, so I'm happy about that. Health and wellness, hobbies, just a tiny bit over. Traveling, I definitely went over. I don't think I planned well enough. I went to a wedding in Mexico, and I definitely expected to spend a lot less because I did take out some cash and I thought I was just going to use that cash and that's it. But I totally forgot that we did a pay later for our hotel, so I had to add that on there, as well as just I spent a little bit more on dining out there. So that's how that went. In terms of self-maintenance, pretty much on par, and shopping was on par, which I'm also really proud of. I had a list, a Google Docs list of all the things I've been wanting for Black Friday, and I was able to cross off a lot because I put them on wish lists, and then I just ended up not wanting some other things anymore. So I let myself shop a little bit, but did not spend more than $250. For my bills, home and utilities / subscriptions, I spent $705.27. I do pay for Netflix, Prime, Spotify, all of that, and my family uses it as well. Even though I never touch Netflix, I gotta keep it. As for savings, I was able to put the amount that I budgeted for, which was $470, into my emergency fund, and then $270 for my sinking funds. No! The lights just went out. Wow, so I literally lost power for like 2 hours. It is now nighttime, and I need to readjust the lighting. I don't even know where I left off. I feel like I talked about my savings. I have filled up my travel savings sinking funds officially. I'm about $25 below what I want, but that's okay because interest will work itself for me. So I don't need to add anything else into my travel sinking funds until I use it up. My travel sinking funds, I try to keep about 2.6K in it. And now that I am done filling that fund, I will be focusing in other areas, which is great because I have to really hone in on the other areas. As for my investments, we have our 457 plan and my CalPERS buyback. So I work in the public service, which is why I have a 457 instead of a 401k, and why I have CalPERS as an option for retirement. And there's this thing called buying back years of service. So I'm actually paying about $14,000 in about a year and a half to buy back years of service that weren't added onto my retirement. So in the long run, it's very helpful, but in the meanwhile, I'm paying about $744 a month. At least it's pre-tax though. So these are both pre-taxed, so that's really good, tax deferred. So I invested about $794 this month. So that leads me back to the 50-30-20 split, where 50% of your income should go to your needs, 30% into wants, and 20% into savings. I'm fortunate enough right now where my needs aren't as high. The main reason is that I'm currently living at home, so I don't have to give as much into home and utilities as the average person. So with all of that, I have had 24.8% into my needs, 45.6% into my wants, and then 29.6% into my savings. Since my needs aren't that high, I'm really trying to have my savings at a really high percentage and keeping my wants pretty low, trying to shoot more for that 30%. And that is more of a higher spend November. I usually try to keep my expenses less than $1,900 and usually closer to $1,700, but it really fluctuates depending on what I have going on for the month. So since I was doing a lot of Christmas shopping and all of that, November is always a high spend month, and so is December. January slows down a little bit, but I have a lot of birthdays, and then after that it slows down a lot, which is really nice. For December, we still have another high spend month. I should still be spending less than $1,900, hopefully. I adjusted a little bit for my grocery spend to $235, and then my household slash personal necessities, I don't have as high of a spend this month, hopefully. Transportation is high again. It may actually be lower because I don't have to buy a train pass this month. I think I'm just buying 2 passes instead of my 10 ride pass. For dining out, I have a budget of $200. For gifts, since I didn't go shopping as much in November, I upped it to $450, hopefully less. And then for my fun expenses, I have budgeted out $60. For travel, we have $400. I will be going to Art Basel in Miami for about 3 days, so hopefully I can keep within that budget. And then we have self-maintenance and then shopping. So yeah, that's pretty much how I'm going to split my expenses, my variable expenses. As for savings, since I filled my bucket for traveling, I will be going full force into my emergency savings, and I mostly put it in the category of emergency, but technically my emergency and car and like just moving out sinking funds are all in the same bucket with my Capital One savings. So I can technically move things around there, but just so for budgeting purposes, I like to see it laid out. So since I filled up my travel, I will be putting $1,100 into my emergency fund, and that's what I'm shooting for. And hopefully we can get that because I am trying to save for a car and to be able to pay for it in cash. So that is my goal, and that is my December budget. And that completes pretty much everything for December. Obviously, we will have a lot of goal setting for this month for the new year of 2027. So keep tabs on my next videos because there is a lot of goal planning and setting and finance planning and just a lot of goals for the new year. So yeah, that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.